I do. This one right here, The Monster of Frankenstein, was an adaptation which actually starts as a sequel to the original novel that Marvel Comics put out in the 1970s. However, the story of Frankenstein in comics goes back all the way to the 1940s with this Frankenstein, sort of lovable Frankenstein character from 1941 through the 1950s. Here's another, drawn by Frank Stein, Dick Briefer, and others. And there was the Classics Illustrated, which were for many kids and young people, that was their first sort of look at classic literature. It was adapted as sequential art. And now there's all kinds of comics related to the character of Frankenstein. But again, I would argue the best is The Monster of Frankenstein. And this was turned into an anime in Japan in the early 1980s. They did The Monster of Frankenstein based on the Marvel comic and Tomb of Dracula based on the Marvel comic, both of which are excellent. And certainly you've got cartoons, the Frankenberry serial, very cartoonish. A number of other cartoons have adapted and mutated the character to make him more kiddie-like and kid-friendly. But you've got, the Count from Sesame Street. I mean, all the monsters have been kind of co-opted. But I still think it's possible to make a sort of edgy horror story, whether in comics or in film, around Frankenstein. I certainly, look at Kenneth Branagh's film, the gore in that. Movies like The Bride of Reanimator or the Reanimator series, which is basically the Frankenstein story told all over again in a new way. Any movie, that has a mad scientist wanting to bring the dead back to life or creating a human being based on dead body parts it owes everything to the Frankenstein mythos and ideas. So, and comics have been played a large part, like I said, especially going back with the Classics Illustrated and the Marvel Comics series and others that are being produced to this very day.
Read the book.